This is the sports betting podcast where we bet on all of the sort of not quite sports of the sports using some fake bets for sports. I'm the host, Kyle Ayers, joined as always by my co host, Austin Huff.
Kyle, whenever I hear the song Sleepyhead by Passion Pit, I immediately think of you. And I heard it a couple of times this week, and it takes me back to you because in college, you walked up behind me, surprised me, put headphones over my ears, and go, listen to this. It was almost like Marvin Berry showing that new sound that Chuck was looking for via telephone in Back to the Future. That's what it felt like. And my life was forever changed in that moment. So thank you. I know
it's such a great song.
I'm about 16 years late with this, but thank you.
No problem. I haven't. You see me like cross you off of my list like Steve Buscemi
in
right. Billy Madison.
It's a great song, and the acoustic version is just as good. Yeah,
it's such a funny song to think, man. I bet when you were developing this, people were like, "We'll see." Like those songs where the guy has an intense falsetto, and he had to be like, "Weep, weep, 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 weep." And people are like, "Oh yeah, man, stick with it."
Yeah,
it sounds great. What's your band's name? No, good.
That song just makes me happy, and I don't know, like it's just whatever formula they used, it just makes me happy. So Sleepyhead by Passion Pit.
If you say Passion Pit Sleepyhead sounds like a food at Trader Joe's.
It does. I actually got some the other day, and
you got some Passion Pit Sleepyheads.
Yeah, and the cashier at Trader Joe's would not stop talking to me the entire time. He goes, I haven't tried this yet. This looks good.
It does sound like an all-natural melatonin alternative they would sell at Trader Joe's. Oh, you didn't have the Passion Pit Sleepyheads? Oh, they're really good. They're really good. We don't have a security guard here. We have a karma police in the door.
Yeah, that's like in a suburban mom's book club. Like they're like, I've been having trouble sleeping, and they're like, oh, well, Linda, you should try Passion Pit Sleepyhead. That's what I've been using.
It is just a pyramid scheme. If you actually buy from me, you only have to get 2 people to buy Passion Pit Sleepyheads from you, and then you're set off. Well, I'm thinking about doing the intro to this and how I don't say NFL and how we're exclusively during the NFL season. I just say sports. I think it's because it's a more fun word.
It is. Well, and sometimes, like when baseball ramps up into October, sometimes we intertwine our NFL bets into other sports. It's possible. It's not very common.
That is true.
It has happened before in the past.
And if this is anyone's first time listening, odd time to jump in. How this works is Austin and I. How maybe there's just big Kareem Hunt fans just getting into the sports season.
It's Kareem Hunt's family. They're like, well, I guess we can start following the NFL again.
Right, they resubscribe.
And so we'll do so with this. Yeah, we'll do so with this ridiculous podcast about fake sports betting.
We're gonna lay out some fake bets to propose to our guest here. You know how sports bets work: over under 30 points, over under 200 yards. Austin and I take an alternative direction here and come up with obscene, obscure, bizarre bets with very real, almost always measurable lines, and see who's the best at betting on kind of the not quite the football of football, the storylines, the reality TV aspects of it, the crap you can't stop hearing about, all that sort of stuff. And we've got a great guest today, but we're going into NFL Week 3.
Yeah, it's very exciting for one of us.
Oh, I realized I texted you started Calvin Ridley. I was so hyped without realizing the score of the game.
I didn't text back. You go started Calvin Ridley and
sunglasses face.
And what's funny is I also started Calvin Ridley, so I was like kind of feeling at least somewhat of a high, and then but it was at a point where the Titans had I think they had just lost to the Jets, and in a very winnable game. That's now 2 straight weeks where the Titans have played in very winnable games and have lost both, and it is by the same score too, 24-17.
Oh,
that number will curse me.
I'm always blown away when a team loses 24-7. When the game is 24-17, it blows my mind because that's the score people predict every game will be.
Yeah, right.
Every graphic in every 24-17, 24 or 24-20 in a close one. Those are the only 2. Everyone thinks every game will be that score. So when it actually is, it blows my mind.
Right. And the Titans are in this rut of where they are just cursed by the number 17. They averaged 17 points per game last year. They've scored 17 points in both of their games this year. It's to the point where it's like they'll score 17 points in the first half and then and then that's
You
it.
just
And
leave.
yeah, you're just like, well, I guess we've met our quota early today, boys. Let's head home.
Yeah, it's like the Steelers without the other side of holding them to under 17 points.
Right, right.
The Steelers
It's
Bears, which ended up being, I don't know if that was a scoregami. I don't remember what the final score of that game was, but we predicted that last week that it would have a stupid score. We were like,
yeah.
this is a game because these are two teams that score in stupid ways.
Yeah, the Steelers only score via field goals and safeties, and it's that remained true
It was
last week.
13-6. Not a
Yeah,
scoregami, but a stupid score.
a stupid score. Yeah, that's
Um,
you see that and you're like, what is this? A Pop Warner game
I
where
want
they
to get
don't
this
get
into
field
our
goals?
our recap. We'll talk more about that game. We had a bunch of good bets last week, and Joey Molinaro was on, and
Hmm.
it was a fun week. It was crazy bets. I will let you, Joey. Joey actually ended up at positive $1,200
Oh
for the
wow!
week.
So just narrowly following
Just
short
just
of
right
Paul
behind
Pabst, our
Paul.
week one guest. Yeah.
So it's hard to have like a whole leaderboard recap 2 weeks in. Hasn't stopped the NFL from doing it, but Paul at 1,300, Joey at 1,200. We're due for a good tank.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Uh,
need a negative number. We need someone to fall in the red.
Speaking of negative numbers, looking into how last week went for everybody. Oh, wait, hold on.
I don't like how you preface that. That makes me feel
I
like
think I
I
think I
went.
did your score improperly here.
Oh,
Um,
instead
four, five, six, seven.
you shorted me by like 2,000 points.
Oh
Keep in
no,
mind, Kyle had about a 1,200 point lead on me after week one. So
I
he's
really, really
already
messed
out
this up.
to a ridiculous score. And I last year he was beating me all year until the
Yeah.
final week of the season when I pulled ahead
So Austin
and
is
won
correct.
last year.
After last week, I was ahead 1150 to negative 800.
Okay.
And last week's total, Austin, you also once again got negative 800.
Are you kidding
Um,
me?
you Wait, what am I looking at here? I feel like oh my God. No, 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 you didn't. I looked at the wrong page. This is on me. I was looking at week one again. I was looking at week one
Okay.
again.
Good night,
I
dude.
was like,
You
there's no
scared
way.
me.
There's no
You're
way.
like
I messed
you're
it
like,
all
no,
up.
no, no,
That's my
no.
bad. That's my bad.
It's not negative 800. You have negative
You got
900.
positive 600.
There we
Positive
go.
600 last week,
Almost back to
which
zero.
brings you up to negative 200. Last week, I got positive 2,150,
I hate you
which
so
might be an
much.
all-time
I
week
hate
total.
you. That is literally the Chiefs and Titans of scores right there.
That is,
It's like, oh, I almost got back to zero, and you're like, yeah, I'm almost at 3,000
it
right
is
now.
crazy. Well, the thing that really put me over was Joey put together. We'll start with this one, which was my biggest get maybe the biggest get in the history of the bets was a
Prop bet
parlay of three
or
bets
parlay, yeah.
that involved picking over under 3.5 pregame Joe Burrow outfit like pop off tweets. And there were a million
Okay.
that hit the over by a billion.
Yeah.
And then plus 225 on them not showing Brittany Mahomes in the box, which they didn't. And then over under 5.5 Taylor Swift box shots.
Yeah,
And
they had a
I took
lot of
the
those.
under, and there were four.
Oh, and the over under was set at 5.
The over under was set at 5.5. There were four.
Jeez.
Now, moments after the final score, they cut 16 times, but we are wire to wire. We're not once they were all
No,
wrapped, they were show
yeah, it's
and they weren't
kickoff
even
to
new shots. They were just the
clock strike
replays.
0.
But this is kickoff to clock strike zero. There were four. And so that I hit on all three of those, and that I
And you know
bet
what I've noticed?
$200.
They do it a lot cutting to commercials. They're like, we're not going to show her during the game, but right before we
Yeah.
go to commercial break, we're going to show you some
That's
Taylor
why I love
Swift.
when people complain. They're like, can we get to this ad that also her boyfriend's also in quicker, please?
It
I want
is,
to know what
yeah.
the tall, dumb guy tells me to buy.
Also,
Um,
can we, and I don't know how you feel about this as a Chiefs fan. Can we talk about, did Taylor Swift date the wrong Kelsey? I know the other one, I know Jason's married, but like Jason and Taylor would make for such a better couple, right?
Um, I don't know. I mean, it's who knows. I don't know if I understand how Travis is as a human being. I think that I think that he might work for her because he is a golden retriever, and
Yeah,
so it's like she has a boyfriend, but she kind of just has a dog. You know what I mean?
yeah.
She's like who doesn't really need a dog sitter but probably. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't leave Travis alone for a week.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think Travis's house broken?
No, but I do think he has an automated feeder.
When Taylor goes on the road to her shows, she
Yeah.
has one of those like cameras for the dogs that like feeds it biscuits.
Right, it launches Nobu sushi out of it into the front into the living room. It's like thunk. And you know that Travis's internal clock is so good. He knows 13
Yeah.
seconds before it's going to go off every time. And he's like 13 seconds and he's just sitting there like and
Yeah,
then goes
yeah,
tonk
yeah.
and he's like, "Okay." And then he goes and gets it and lays down and looks
It's
out the front
Pavlov's
window.
Kelsey. Yeah.
But that was my big win last week was that parlay, the under on the Taylor Swift shots. I firmly believe it's not happening as often as they want you to think. It's it's like a political discussion. You know what I mean? The internet has soured the intent of anything. I
Yeah.
went 7 for 7 last week. I got or 6 for 6. There were 7 bets. I bet on
Jeez.
6 of them. I hit every single one.
Is
You
that is that
were
is that your bets or Harrison Butker's made field goals last week? My
yeah,
goodness.
it's about the same. And if you give me 70 cents on the dollar, which he would like to do, you have to I put the parlay into a parlay bot and talked to my brother who knows betting. And basically he said with the over under odds and then the plus 225 on no Brittany, it should have hit for 1,085. I just rounded that down to 1,050. But then I hit on the rest of them. This was the bet only I bet on when we talk about the Bears and the Steelers. Random dude scoring a touchdown. You remember the random dude scoring a touchdown in the
Yeah.
Steelers Bears game? The only touchdown in that whole game was scored by the backup tight end of the Steelers.
Wow, you got
So
lucky.
I bet on that one, and Darnell Washington scored the only
Damn.
touchdown in that game. And I
And
looked up, and he
that
was
was
the second
literally
tight end on their chart.
yeah, it was literally the bet of do any non-starters score a
Non-starters,
touchdown. And
the
literally
random
the only
player.
touchdown scored was by a non-starter. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Here's one. You had Nick Saban's game day picks versus amount of Bama player touchdowns scored, and these had to be touchdowns not thrown. This had to be who crossed the line with the ball. Nick Saban had the greatest picking week in the history of his life and picked 9 games right.
Is there anything Nick Saban is bad at other than Affleck commercials?
I would guess being a husband.
Hey, Miss Terry.
I'm
Miss
basing it off
Terry
nothing at
loves him.
all. Um, but the only Alabama touchdown, Alabama players who scored touchdowns this week were Derrick Henry and Calvin Ridley. It's almost like insult to injury with you twice in this one bet. You picked the Saban picks, so you got that right.
All right,
But
good.
the only
Gosh,
two
I was
Ridley
gonna say
touchdowns. Yeah, Derrick Henry
if
has 7.
if I picked Alabama touchdowns and the only two people that scored was the
I
Titans
do
wide
think
receiver and
actually
the
I think
former
Devontae
Titans running
Smith
back.
scored last night as well, so that'd bring that up to 4, but still not near the 9 picks Saban got.
No, yeah.
Continuing to go through what you walking about Willis. This was if Malik Willis would average more than 4.8 yards per carry, and he did 6.8.
That Malik Willis had an oddly good game, enough to give Packers fans like hope that he's going to be something special. As a
He,
guy who watched Malik Willis a lot of football, in fact, one of which was a game against the Chiefs
that
in
he really took
Arrowhead.
him to the wire on.
Well, they did, but he didn't. There was not for
It
any
was
reason
not
of
him.
his own doing. Yes, it was, it was,
A lot of
and that's the
defense and
thing about
Derrick
Malik
Henry.
Willis, and that was kind of what you got on Sunday for the Packers. Like the Packers
Yeah.
were aided by 151 yards from the running back. Like you're not
I
gonna,
think that the Packers were just coached. That was just a game plan. That was a great. He
yeah,
didn't be like go run Jordan Love's game. He
yeah.
just went out there and did that other did ran what he
And
ran.
now Malik Willis goes to Nashville this
Yeah.
weekend against the Titans. If he beats the Titans, I may not show up for this podcast next week, Kyle, because literally all hell will have broken loose. But on
Oh
Titans Twitter,
man.
I will have lost my mind. People, I will be trying to defend because I feel like I'm that constant defender of this team, whereas like
Yeah.
everyone else is just like wanting to, oh, this team sucks, and it's like, guys, it's week 2, all right? Anyone can,
I think the thing about the NFL is especially early in the year, margins are so slim.
yeah,
There's
and
rarely blowouts. And so you are just sort of a decision away from winning or losing every game.
well, and narratives can change so easily. I mean, like, and
Yeah.
Titans fans should know this better than anyone. Like, literally, the Titans had a started a season 7-3 and missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
And on the contrary, like literally, the Jaguars just did the same thing
The
last year.
Jaguars
Where
were a minute away from being in the 1 seed and then just lost out or won
yeah,
one more game
right.
and haven't looked
It's
good
just
since then.
the season is long and people
Yeah.
forget that. And so
Yeah.
I'm here to remind everyone listening that the season is long and we will be with you
It
every step
only
along the
feels
way making
short and
fake
immediate
bets.
because the off season stinks. And so
Mhm.
you're
Well,
just back right now and you're like, okay, okay, okay. Oh, all right, all right, all right. But you forget like pretty much until it's warm again, it's going to be football.
and that's the thing I love about baseball, is that it's like if you lose on a walk-off, you don't have to dwell on it for 6 days.
Yeah.
The next day you're back at it and it like erases your mind. And if they win
Yeah.
the next night, you're like completely fine again. With football, if you lose, you have to literally go through an entire work week
Yeah.
of just dwelling on that loss until they suit back up the next weekend. And
Yeah,
it
and
just
in baseball you can just play
sucks.
the same guys. You can lose 15-1 and then beat the guys 2-1 and then 2-1 and win a series.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Seriously. Seriously.
There's so much hinging. It's like you had a different quarterback every day, is sort of
Yeah.
the level that pitching plays into in baseball, where everyone's like, okay, we did this. It's like, yeah, but they have a new quarterback tomorrow. And then they
Yeah,
put
yeah.
another quarterback in 7/9 of the way into the game.
There's just so many quarterback changes, you know?
Yeah. Well, okay, real quick through the rest of the bets that I hit, which are all of them. There's
Okay. All
dude,
right.
I
Thank
couldn't
you.
this one we all hit more scoring plays in the Chiefs Bengals game or mentions of Taylor Swift as a reply to an official at Kansas City Chiefs Twitter tweet. There were 11 scoring plays in the Chiefs Bengals game. There were 12 mentions of Taylor Swift in the first two tweets.
Really? Only 12?
No, there were like 20
Wow.
more too. I just quit counting.
Oh,
There were
oh, oh, in the
it was
first
so
two
fast.
tweets. In
The
the first two
in
tweets, you're like, well,
in the
the
game
over hit.
started tweet there were 9.
Yeah.
And all hell really broke loose when they showed her once. That's when everyone
Were
gets mad. You know what I mean? They
now
go back and reply to the most recent one.
do you have an idea? Was it mostly Swifties replying or was it mostly
So I
angry
actually
men?
counted bots or who I assumed were because there were a few people that replied to all of them, every single tweet with the same please stop showing her, every single one. And
Yeah.
I didn't even count them towards this 12. So that would have been another 10
Okay.
just on these couple tweets. So I tried to do this looked like the only time you'd said some things. So
Yeah.
this was a very conservative 12, which is actually how Matt Gaetz describes women he likes. And
That's more Kansas City humor right there.
um, so they that one really hit. That was actually Joey's lock and my lock. So we made some money there. You bet 100 on that one. This one, James Earl Jones passed away. How
Rest in
many
peace.
he's mostly known for being dad and various things. Mufasa, Darth Vader. How many second or third or legacy players score touchdowns? It was only 3. Joe Burrow scored 2. Marvin Harrison Jr. scored 2, and DK Metcalf had 1. I didn't see any other ones. I didn't know Cooper Cup is third generation, but he also didn't score. Um, we were looking for over under on 8, so the under hit there. That was your lock. So good money
That
for you.
Cooper Cup. Who's Cooper Cups? Do you know who Cooper Cup is third generation of?
I don't. I think both of his dad and grandpa were prospectors, just based on his name.
Jay
Cooper Cup sounds like 2 jobs.
Cooper Cooper Cup. Excuse me. Mr. Cup is my father. You can call
Yeah.
me Cooper.
I don't remember who they were, but I can guarantee you these were lunch pail guys. First in, last out sort of grinders, you know what I mean? Made the most of what they
Yeah.
had. Not overly athletic, but really smart.
Yeah.
Last one. This one I thought was odd, but it did hit. Tyreek was going 100 miles an hour, or was he going 60 miles an hour? Depends on which cop you ask. Will Tyreek's yardage land between 60 and 100 miles an hour in what we call the safe zone? No, it did not. 24 total yards. Sorry, 24 receiving, 36 total. It didn't help
Wow.
that his
Oh my
quarterback
gosh.
died.
Yeah. That tends to hinder your production is if
Yeah,
your quarterback just dies during the
yeah.
game. So
There's something to Tua getting a concussion running into Damar Hamlin's chest
mhm.
that feels
Yeah.
a little like a murder ball or that version of football they play in Starship Troopers or some
Yeah.
sort of like weird future. It just felt a little close, a little bit
The
too on the
Titans
nose or on the
the
chest.
the Titans have both the Packers and the Dolphins in the first 4 weeks. Then of the next upcoming 2 weeks, they have the Packers this week,
Hmm.
which obviously Jordan Love goes down in week 1. And you get Malik Willis, and then they've got the Dolphins the week after that. And so Tua it was just put on the IR. So now you've got literally two backup quarterbacks that you're going to be facing. But
Which,
it will be my luck that like the Dolphins go out and finally get Tom Brady or something like that.
who
Or Ryan
knows?
Tannehill. And then in back-to-back weeks,
Right.
the Titans will lose to their
It'll
former
be the
starters.
Malik Wilson, then Ryan Tannehill, and then
Yeah.
the Marcus Mariota will come out of retirement to to start
Yeah.
whoever it is third.
And then oddly, Jake Locker starts like he's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna just play football again.
Marcus Mariota will throw it off of Hamlin's chest back to himself and score a touchdown. But that'll like be like when you punch a putty in Power Rangers in the chest, and that's actually how they die.
Yeah, you're right, right.
So
Damn,
I
a
don't know. I got a
solid putty reference. Like
Yeah.
here we are, week 3 of the NFL season, and we're already working a putty reference
I
into.
wonder if
Shout out
in
Power
Power Rangers
Rangers.
they ever said silly putty kicks are for kids. Because
Damn
then
it, Kyle.
we got 890s references lodged into one phrase right there.
Silly putty kicks are for kids.
Um,
Damn it.
yeah. So I mean, it's been a wild week, with actual football and
Yeah,
everything itself. I'm tired of the internet. Um,
you're
the
is that it?
internet's in like postseason form when it comes to being upset right now, and I don't know if it's just because everything is happening the same way that it happened to end the season. Um, but I don't know. Everyone's just in what'd you call it, like peak postseason sort of troll form on the internet. So games
Oh
are just
yeah.
so much more fun if I stay off my phone. I'm having a
Well,
much
yeah,
better
the
time.
well, and I'm also I've got a cable box, but it's a wireless cable box, so it's on a slight delay. So I have to put my phone down when I watch games because otherwise I'll get notifications sent to my phone. It'll be like "Brr,
Oh yeah.
touchdown, Jets, and I'll be like, son of a bitch, what do you mean? And
Yeah.
then like 2 plays later, the Jets will score a touchdown. I'll be like,
And people seem to want to just tweet out to be first. So they'll just be like, touchdown Jets. And you're like, that's your whole tweet. You're a reporter. I need like more, you know what I mean?
that
You just want to be the first person to say that online.
look, credit to Titans beat writers, but like I do feel like they are racing against each other. Like who
Yeah.
can thumb this tweet out? Interception, interception.
I blame Adam Schefter for all of it, honestly. It
Yeah,
is
it is
the
Schefter's fault.
desire to be absolutely first on everything over the desire to
Mhm.
be correct or informative.
Yeah.
I'm
And
over it.
isn't it? And look, I went to journalism school. Okay. Aren't you supposed to always have a second source? So,
He
what are your,
uses each eye as one source.
yeah, yeah. My left eye and my right eye. I've
Right.
confirmed it through both sources.
That's how you confirm an Andre Rison touchdown is your right eye and most importantly your left eye.
Your left eye. Wow. Yeah. That you're burning it down, man,
I
with these
know.
jokes.
So I got good bets this week. I mean, we're feeling excited about it.
Hmm.
All the I don't. It's hard to like harp on anything negative as a Chiefs fan, but the injuries
I,
stink. Not having
and you know what?
Pacheco stinks, honestly,
I've,
and
I've,
just because
I've,
they'll be bummed out because his vibes are gone.
I've had a take, Kyle, and I've yet to bring it to this podcast, but I've brought it online before. You've probably seen it. I don't think there's been anything negative that has happened to the Chiefs outside of Super Bowl against Tom Brady.
Uh,
I don't think anything negative has ever happened on a field for the Chiefs ever.
Ever?
You can't convince me otherwise.
I guess Javon Belcher was technically near the practice
That
field.
was near the field. That was not on the field.
I would say
And by
Mahomes hurting
ever,
his
I mean
knee like the last 5 years.
Patrick Mahomes, yeah, took over as starter.
Became a
Yeah,
he did pop his knee out and they removed the quarterback sneak from their entire repertoire, which was frustrating because they just can't get 1 yard anymore. I would rather the
yeah.
Chiefs have 1st and 10 at the 11 than 1st and goal at the 2.
Well,
Um,
the Chiefs are the kind of organization where it'll be like 4th and inches, and they'll still run from shotgun, and they'll
yeah.
pick up 43 yards on
They'll be like at
fourth and
4th and inches, and then they'll be like, did 5 guys touch the ball that play?
Yeah,
We had to get one. Well, now they have Carson Steele, and I feel like they're just running him up the middle because he looks like a guy who should get the yard.
as a
I think
as a
that
Titans fan, the Chiefs make me so angry because they make offense look so easy,
I
and I
think that what is
know that it is
happening
not that.
is I do think that I mean I have takes on the whole penalty this and get mad about this and all this sort of stuff. And what's happening is just the Tiger Woods syndrome is happening to a lot of teams. They have like Chiefs derangement syndrome when it comes
Oh, it's
to
fatigue. Oh,
coaching.
it's Chiefs fatigue. A
I
thousand
think that
percent.
I believe that other teams,
Get in their own heads.
especially the Ravens, especially Lamar Jackson, who ran the ball 1,000 times to try and beat them, and honestly might have fucked his year up because he got hit 15 times in his game,
Why
and he
why
looked
they
bad in
didn't
the
hand
last game.
the ball off to Derrick Henry more in that game
Because
I
Lamar wanted to
is
win the game.
beside me.
I think that teams come up against the Chiefs, and most games are close. Absolutely, most games are close. And when a close game is happening, one team will usually freak out and fuck up.
Well,
And
and the
so often
AFC
it's the team
Championship,
placing the Chiefs.
AFC Championship, the Ravens should have ran the ball the entire game from start to
Sure.
finish. They shouldn't have even thrown the football. And
I think
they
Lamar
were
pictured himself.
gaining chunks of
Yeah.
yards while running the ball. They ran the ball so well last year. And
They
yeah, you're right.
yeah.
They got in their own head. They felt like they had to get into a shootout with the
The
Chiefs.
Chiefs scored and got ahead, and then the Ravens had to failed their next drive because the Chiefs
Mhm.
loaded the box, and the Ravens were like, "Oh, they loaded the box once. We'll never run again." I think Lamar Jackson could picture himself holding up the trophy after beating Mahomes and having the AFC you know what I mean? I think he
Yeah,
I think this remember when Tiger Woods would be tied with guys going into Sunday and then win by 9?
yeah,
That's what it
yeah.
feels like.
That's what they,
That's what
yeah.
it feels like. And I think that because it's not like the Chiefs truly get a lot of penalties. They get a lot of penalties. If you watch full games, but I think everyone starts trying to do too much towards the end of games against them. That poor kid who got that penalty at the end of the Chiefs game, I wish they wouldn't have fucking showed him on the sideline 100 times. I was
Oh,
like,
did
he's a
they? I didn't even
rookie.
see it.
He's a yeah. They was like he was sitting with Taylor Swift. They kept cutting to him so much. I was like, this guy's a rookie. Please leave him alone. It just stinks that there was a penalty the play before that, but no one cares about that. And it was a correct penalty call. It was hands to the face. It's refs are stupid. These guys are stupid. These guys are
Yeah.
dumb. There's 80 penalties every play, and I really just think teams collapse. Not but like try and be Superman instead of playing, and that's why the Bengals are so good. Not, but the Bengals usually pretty good against the Chiefs because they don't go crazy. You see teams
So
doing
you
crazy stuff. The Packers last year destroyed the Chiefs and just ran the same game they would run against anybody.
so you would agree though that uh you would agree that nothing bad has ever happened to the Chiefs in the last
On
5
the
years.
field in the last 5 years, I think is what you said.
Other than the peace sign from the Bucks safety
And
to
honestly,
Tyreek
the
Hill.
bad thing that happened on the field wasn't necessarily that Super Bowl. It was an entire offensive line getting hurt in the playoffs. So
Right.
you don't even,
Right.
not that you didn't even have time to get healthy, you didn't have time to practice with replacements.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't think any team ever would have beat that Bucks team with the line the Chiefs had. Like, you know what I mean? You could build a Pro Bowl team and then have that line, and the Bucks team would have beat them. I kind of felt that was going to happen going in, and I don't know if the peace sign was whatever. I think anything that deflates Tyreek Hill's ego might be helpful. Um,
What?
and they
I
lost that.
know.
And then what happens when they lost that? The next year they go back to the AFC Championship game. Then they trade Tyreek Hill and they win every Super Bowl since they traded Fast Man. I I don't know. Bad stuff happens. They get players that get hurt. Charles Omenihu has like played 6 games for them since he's been here. He was a big
That's okay.
he was
Now
a
we're
big
grasping at
sign.
straw. I said,
He's
does
good.
anything bad happen? You're like Charles Menu who got hurt. Never people forget.
I don't know
People
what bad
forget.
things happened to other teams. I mean, no one's like ran on the field and
No,
shot it up
I'll
like a
see
school, if that's what you mean. Or
the
are
hardest the hardest question I could ask you is the flip side of that. Has anything good happened to the Titans in the last 5 years?
I started Calvin Ridley on my fantasy team this week.
Yeah, I know. I
Well,
know. I
then
was
you
made
get down to
aware.
like what only good stuff has happened only to like 5 teams. If you really go
No,
off of like,
I
well,
mean,
I don't think there's 49ers fans who might say nothing good has happened to them on the field.
yeah, well, trading for Christian McCaffrey alone is worth the price of admission.
Is
Even
that the
though
guy
he's
IR guy?
Madden 25, yeah, Madden 25
I think
curse has
it
gotten
is
him.
crazy, and that they have won 3 Super Bowls in 5 years. It's like because you knew me when I was. I can't believe we made the playoffs, or our quarterback is Tyler Thigpen, or please bench Brody Croyle. It's a
Yeah.
crazy because I mean the Chiefs were just sort of one of these teams that would blow it and have really be fun sometimes and blow it. And so it's really psychotic that the the best players on their team. Like I'm still like I take nothing for granted. It's absolutely insane.
They're the Patriots. They're this generation's
I
Patriots.
think they are, and I think that unfortunately for fans of the NFL, they're more fun to watch, and that's tough.
Well, from like an aesthetics, because
Yes,
they're
so
like
that's what I'm saying.
they're a better offense.
Casual fans will glide on over to them for reasons other than
They'll hate watch,
geography.
hate watch the
People
Chiefs.
will hate
Because I
watch
mean,
them.
think about when the Patriots were in the thick of it. We all watch the Patriots. Like we wanted the
We did, but
Patriots.
you also weren't excited to tune into a Patriots game. Like even at war, you're still the Chiefs also put up. They kind of look like those Randy Moss Patriots teams most of the time because they
Yeah.
got crazy stuff going on, and aesthetically they're more fun to watch. And it's impossible to ignore how famous two of their players are. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Travis looks like his age this year, but also they're just
Yeah.
doing other stuff. Anyways, it's crazy. I could talk all day about the weird nuance of what that is and all this crap. It's weird. It's
Let's
weird.
look. Let's tune in this week for week 3 to see if anything negative happens to the Chiefs this
It's a whole
week.
new podcast. I don't know. Their running back got hurt last week. Their wide
Nah,
receiver number
no,
one
no.
got hurt. The one
Yeah, and then
played.
they go out and sign Kareem Hunt. Like it's
Oh
look,
yeah,
it's not.
he's good. He almost played for the rape team last year. Um,
No, watch. Kareem
you
Hunt's
got to
gonna
tell
have
me
this like
if
it's like when the Dodgers go and sign some guy like a Max Muncy or a Justin Turner from like the Mets waiver wire or the A's waiver wire, and they go out and then they just come to the Dodgers and they just have
everyone
this
says that, but
resurgence.
the Chiefs have tried it and it didn't happen. Juju was
Well,
fine for one season, and now he's on the
well,
team again. And all
yeah.
he's done is drop a touchdown pass, and then he's good at run blocking, and that's honestly important for them because they run their number one running back and wide receiver are both gone. For this wide receiver's out for the whole year. That's bad.
Is he out for the whole year?
They said he's out at least through January. So for the whole year for most teams, but he might play 2 games for the Chiefs.
Oh, damn.
So that's bad.
Damn.
If your number one
Yeah.
offseason acquisition wide receiver gets hurt one play into the preseason.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like even a bad thing does not it does
It's like
not
I'm debating
affect
you
them.
on whether or not they ate cats in Ohio. And I'm like, well, they didn't actually eat cats. And you're like, I
You're
really need
like,
them to have
you
eaten
don't know
cats.
that. No, like,
Uh,
look, some
Has
they may have eaten
Oh, you have
cat
video of every
adjacent.
cat?
Look,
Okay,
who's
and
to
that's the
say,
last thing we'll
really?
say is the second that they mentioned eating every cat in Ohio, every cat team has lost every game. And now we should
Ooh, cat curse? Look, people are
maybe
asking.
cat
People
got
are
your
asking.
done.
I'll take it. Yeah, judges.
We got to
Yes,
get to
we
we
will
got to get to the
accept that
episode.
answer.
I don't know
We
if
got to
people are
get
going
to
to love or hate what we just did here for
Who
a half
knows?
hour, but
Only time will tell. But we've got
Yeah.
Pat Tomasulo from WGN News here in Chicago joining us. He's a comedian. He moonlights as a comedian. Very, very funny guy. He's got a very special event today, this weekend, which is near and dear to our heart, which we will get to with him. So let's get to Pat Tomasulo. We're joined now by our guy, Pat Tomasulo, WGN sports anchor, WGN Morning News, a guy I watch on my TV screen on mute every single morning because he's on in our radio studio. I got to go without sound though, which sucks. Which then I have to then turn to socials whenever he goes on mini rants, sports related rants. To catch those. But he is throwing his Laugh Your Face Off event this weekend, which we will get into here in a little bit for more information and the silent auction that they've got going on, laughyourfaceoff.org. I encourage all of you guys to check it out because it is backing a very big and important cause that is very near and dear to literally all three of us that are on this podcast right here. But he is our season 2 winner with $1,998.75. The first guy to ever actually get some coins in there of fake winnings from last year. He is Pat Tomasulo. Pat, how are you?
I'm great. I'm honored to be back on with you after taking all of your money last year.
Yeah, fake money. Fake money.
How much you love me that you would have me on when you clearly know I'm going to dominate again in this game, whose rules I need to be reminded of.
Now, Pat, you've got Laugh Your Face Off this weekend, and you've got an incredible silent auction. If you were to take that as $1,998.75 of fake winnings, what would you bid on in the silent auction?
Well, that's a tough question to answer because I don't know that I would be in contention for some of the prizes with that money. But if we were starting from the ground floor, I'd probably want to go on Chris Chelios's boat.
Okay.
He donated as he called it, a booze cruise for 12 people for 5 hours with him driving the boat.
Oh
I don't
my
know
That's
if we
so
gosh.
all
fun.
get back alive from this,
Yeah.
but
Hockey players do everything so much
Yeah.
harder than the regular human. So if you're going to party with a hockey player, I can
yeah.
only imagine like you're probably not going to survive the evening.
Well,
Yeah.
when he offered it up, I was like, initially, I was stunned. And then I was like, this is not a guy who's ever missed a party in his entire life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
he
I
basically
know
offered up something he would be doing
that's
otherwise anyways.
exactly what he did.
If you guys
He's
want to
like,
meet me where I'll already be.
I told somebody, I'm like, can you believe what Chelly goes over? Like, dude, he's out there every weekend. He's got 12 people on the boat all the time. There's nothing different for him.
There's going to be 11 people showing up to his boat, and he's going to be like, "What is this for?" Like,
But
all
I'm
right,
like,
come
I
on.
know the two guys who are bidding on it, and I don't know that they each know that I know, but I'm playing them against each other. I'm like, I don't care who wins, but I'm getting on that goddamn boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you
Yeah.
call it, the 11 people are allowed on the boat prize.
Right. I'm like, I'm the reason you idiots are going on that boat.
Right.
You know, neither of them have.
But
10
then
or
I'm
11
thinking too,
friends.
like I was thinking about it, and my wife was like, you should bid on it and like take all the guys who've like been instrumental in helping out. I'm like, nah, we don't want 12 dudes. I'm like, whoever wins, it's gonna be 12 middle-aged dudes on a boat.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like that. It is gonna be like a woman repellent with a motor.
You
They're
should
going to be
say
like, remember the 2010 cup run? Like, wasn't that awesome?
that's what you should say. You're not allowed to bid on that if you truly believe you were an injury away from going pro.
That would eliminate everyone from bidding on it.
Oh God.
Well, Pat, obviously we are very much people of means. You're technically throwing a gala this weekend, so that right there should just go to show you how much of a man of means you are. You're on our TV screen every single morning, and also very funny comedian. I did not put that in the intro. A very funny comedian, a special on YouTube. I encourage everyone to.
You can follow him
Go
on
check it
Twitter.
out.
Austin just did today.
I literally just started following
Yeah.
him on Twitter right before we
Yeah.
started. Because I
Yeah.
realized I was not following him on Twitter, but at
That's
Pat
right.
Tomasulo on Instagram and Twitter. Pat, since we are all people of means, we like to play for very special causes, that being fake special causes. So is there a fake charity that you will be playing your fake winnings for?
Yeah, I'm playing for the society to send Pat on a vacation after he completes the real charity fundraiser this week.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Oh, that is literally the plot to an episode of I Love Lucy, and I love it so
Is that
very
the one
much.
where they're eating the chocolates?
I
Is that
think
that one?
no, that's a they run a charity raffle for Women Overseas Fund, which is to send them to Europe.
That's the fun.
That's good instincts. I think that's well deserved.
Okay, yeah, the society to send Pat Tomasulo on a vacation after his actual charity event.
Yeah, they're doing great work.
I think
I don't think
you're
they're
not.
raised enough this year, but they're trying their best.
It's actually it's
They don't
awkward.
have enough people on staff to get the job done this year. But
Yeah,
the
it says here
thought
they're
is
an
there.
LLC listed under WGN.
You're not the first guy to play for that.
Kankakee, that fun.
You're not the first guy to play for that charity this season. That's the weird part about it.
Oh my god!
And multiple people.
So let's do this. Austin and I'll present our 6 bets,
Right.
and then you have $1,000 to put across all of them. You can do any sort of parlays or whatever those are. You have to lock in one bet, and that means double the winnings or triple the losses. And we'll present them all 6. You don't have to bet on all of them.
I don't even know what a parlay is. I don't bet, but let's do it.
Okay, good.
We don't know.
We don't either. I'm
All right.
so glad to hear you say that, Pat. As a guy who works in sports,
Someone did
Kyle
one
and
last week, and this was my notes from his bet.
Yeah, that's an algebra equation. If you couldn't tell.
So here's my 3 bets.
All right.
My first bet is going to be called Shogun versus Shotgun. Shogun just won 18 Emmys last weekend, the most any for the one season of television.
Did you watch
18
that?
Emmys. I did watch it. I read that whole show.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
I read that whole
It's
show.
okay, right? It wasn't great. It wasn't 18 Emmys great.
I think that I thought it was like the weakest Emmy year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of HBO wasn't really pumping out besides like Hacks and like the comedy category.
Hacks is great.
It was kind of a weak drama year. But Shogun won 18 Emmys. This week will over under 18 touchdowns out of the shotgun formation.
Oh.
Shogun versus Shotgun. 18 touchdowns out
Across
of
the
the
whole
shotgun.
league?
Whole league.
How the hell are you going to add those up? What are you going to go
I'm
through
gonna
every game?
really hope no one takes this bet.
He's gonna pay special attention to that all
No, you
touchdown
can do,
montage
Now
at the
I'm
end of red zone.
definitely taking that bet.
You can do there's like scoring plays on the NFL for games. So I'll just
They
watch the
say
scoring
what
plays.
formation it's in?
I'll just watch the videos of the scoring plays. They're like 3 minutes a game.
Oh
And the
my
good news
God.
is, like, the Bears and the Steelers don't score touchdowns, so
Zero.
there's two
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of teams that I'll see how I'll be able to skip run. Anyways, that's the first one. Next one, I'm calling this delays of games.
Hang on. Wait, I've got one question about that last bet. If
Great.
it's a defensive touchdown and the play is out of shotgun, does that count as a
Yeah.
shotgun touchdown?
I don't think that counts.
I know
right?
that's some sort of kamikaze situation.
Wow.
Next one, this is delays a game. I'm flying from Los Angeles to Chicago on Thursday, and then I'm coming back on Monday. Over under 2.5 delays in my flight or delays of game by Los Angeles teams or the Chicago Bears this weekend.
Okay, by
So
LA
that's,
or
that's 5 total things.
Okay, go through that again. Is that hours of delay? Number
Just
of
a
delays?
delay. Just a delay.
The number of delays.
Yeah.
and is that
number of
all
delays.
combined? So like if you
Yes.
have one delay and then there's like two delay of games in those games.
It has to be that team, not their games. If the Chargers have 2 delays of game and one of my flights is delayed, that will hit. So far this season, the Chargers and the Rams have 0 total, and the Bears have 1 in each game.
So it's adding
this is
those
tempting.
2 games.
Adding those 3 teams together, the LA and 2 LA teams and the Chicago team, plus my flights.
You talking like this is why I made you get in on Thursday for this thing.
That's what made me think of this. And then my last one is called, is anyone going to bitch about the fucking Chiefs again? This is over under.
I'm taking yes. I don't even know what the line is.
I'm in a fantasy football group chat with 11 other guys. I'm the only Chiefs fan. Over under 1.5 people in that group chat who bitch about the Chiefs during their game Sunday night.
I feel so bad for you that you have to endure that, Kyle. That must be the hardest thing you have to endure.
In last week, 2 people bitched, but one of them was a Bengals fan. And the week before that, it wasn't really bitching, but someone said, "Here we go." So it hit the over once and the under the other time.
And what's the line set at?
1.5.
Over under 1.5. Okay, I'm easily hammering that over.
Keep in mind, you're not in this group chat, Austin. Austin's gonna befriend everyone in this fantasy football.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, man, hey, how about these damn Chiefs? Is anything? We literally just got done, Pat, talking about whether or not anything bad has happened to the Chiefs on a football field in the last 5 years.
And then he said all injuries don't count.
Well, they don't for the Chiefs apparently.
So far up its ass.
They count for literally every other team.
Well, they have to put the horseshoe there because they had to get rid of that war paint horse because it was offensive.
Okay, my bets for this week. This one's
Wait, I didn't have to come up with bets, did I?
No.
Okay.
No. You just gotta just sit back and bet your fake cash on this. $1,000 of fake cash.
Yeah.
This one is my first bet is going to Giants Browns. Now I will note up front that I cannot bet on this one. I am excluded from this bet. This might be
what this one is.
Go right ahead.
Will Deshaun Watson be charged with sexual assault during the game?
Oh, that's great.
And I love that Austin had to recuse himself from this one.
Because I am the one that will be pressing charges. No, this might be the most sophomoric bet I've ever brought to the table on this podcast, but I'm taking this one to Giants Browns from Thursday to Sunday night. So Thursday, when the clock strikes midnight, to Wednesday night to going into Thursday until the clock strikes midnight on Monday morning. How many Giant Browns do I take?
So
essentially, are there more Giant Browns or touchdowns?
Does
in
consistency
Giant
count,
Browns?
or is this just an attendance thing?
This is just sitting on the toilet and something pops out. Is it. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be a Giant Brown, but I appreciate you asking. For reference, I average around just under 1 poop per day.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm not a frequent pooper.
Wow. I would kill for that kind of frequency.
That's crazy. What do you do with all that free time?
Yeah. Where do you go to get away from your wife and child?
Oh, yeah. I know dads who put the router in there.
It's
I think I read an entire Tolstoy novel last week anytime I was in there.
Duolingo should really start running ads about this.
they really should. All right, and then my next bet, third time's a harm. I am of course, a battered Titans fan. Will Levis has had 2+ turnovers in each game this season. Will he have over under 1.5 turnovers in Sunday's game? However, there's a caveat here. If a turnover gets memed, you automatically lose, which he has had at least one memed turnover in the last 2 weeks, with the fumble backwards last week, and then obviously the attempted throw out of bounds in the Bears game.
So you're saying like if a turnover is so egregious, they make fun of him.
So egregious that like Bleacher Report, the Barstools, all of the giant digital accounts share it. Because a regular interception, not everyone is going to share. It's not going to go viral. But an egregious one will definitely be virality.
So if they make a meme, you lose either way just for taking the bet.
Yeah, well, yeah. So you lose because with this bet, if you say yes, obviously you want the 1.5 turnovers. But if one of them gets memed, then you automatically
What if you
lose.
take the under and it's memed?
Yeah.
Then you automatically win. Thank you for asking. The automatically win. So it goes opposite of whatever you choose.
Okay. Yeah.
And then
so if he has
my last
one turnover, none of this matters. I'm not
win.
betting on this one.
My last one is called I'm Bringing Rexy Back in honor of Pat Tomasulo joining us, going to Colts Bears for this. It's a rematch of Super Bowl 41. You guys remember where you were? In that Super Bowl.
I was there.
Oh, wow. Brag about it. Jeez.
Wait, which Super Bowl? I wasn't listening. I'm sorry. I had a call.
Super Bowl 41, Colts Bears.
Was it the Colts Bears? Is that what you said?
Colts Bears.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Devin Hester returned the opening kickoff, and that was about all that went well for the Bears that night, unfortunately. In that game, Rex Grossman threw for 165 yards. Does number 1 pick overall, Caleb Williams, throw for over 165 yards? About 165.5 the line will be sent. Is he better than Rex Grossman against the Colts? So those are my 3 bets. You have $1,000 of fake cash, Pat Tomasulo, for you to bet. However you may be, we just ask that you bet on at least 2, and one of them must be your lock, which is double the winnings but triple the losses.
I gotta go through. I didn't like any of yours. I'm gonna be honest. Kyle's seemed like a ramble. What were yours again? Shogun.
18 touchdowns out of the shotgun. Then over under 2.5 delays between the LA teams, the Chicago team, and my flights. And then that'd be crazy if it was at 2 and you're begging for me to like get delayed going home. And you're like, Pat called a bomb threat into the airport.
Home.
And then does anyone in my group chat bitch about the Chiefs over under 1.5?
And yours was taking a dump.
What was the over under on the poops?
It's the number of poops I take from Thursday to Sunday versus the number of touchdowns in Browns Giants.
Touchdowns.
So that's 4 days.
Yeah. Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
dinner tomorrow night.
It is a great question. I will be with my extended family this weekend.
Oh, you're having toasted rav and emos? Hit the poop over.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hit the poop over. Yeah. I will be in St. Louis this weekend.
Smash that
and then it was were the other 2? Rex Gross or Caleb, 165.
Yeah. 165.5 yards. And then the other one was Will Levis turnovers.
Okay.
1.5 over under.
Oh, all right.
$1,000, however you want to bet them.
Can I borrow money again?
Yeah, I mean, if you've got the means.
Yeah, I'm gonna borrow it again. I'm gonna put my my first 1,000 is Kyle's layovers. I'm going to take the under on the
Thank
layovers.
you.
Right?
I love that.
Okay.
Second 1,000. I'm going to borrow from my wife. Honey, I'm borrowing money. Is going to be on the poops. I'm taking the over. And then my lock.
You're taking the poops over the
yeah.
touchdowns.
Yeah. If you're going to be in St. Louis, yes. And the second grand I'm taking from my dog who just left. That's going to be, without question, the over on the bitching about the Chiefs. That's my lock.
Okay.
So we've got 1,000 on the delays, hitting the under, and then what? How much on the poops?
1,000. I'm borrowing money.
And
I got it. Let me just. I'm using my earnings from last year. I'm using the 1,900.
I love that.
From last year.
And so then
Okay.
a third 1,000 on the bitching over.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll put the $998.75 on the bitching.
Whatever you got to do. Parlay it.
Okay.
Is that what you call it?
I have no idea.
Trifecta.
Okay.
I thought a
I
parlay
don't know if
was
that's
when
a
they
thing.
made
Is that
you
just
talk.
horse racing?
Yeah, I don't know. The parlay is when you have to talk to the captain of a ship.
I'm sorry, I'm not a degenerate.
All right, so we got you $1,000 on the poop over.
Yeah.
The poop over sounds like a combination of my bet about flights and Austin's bet.
That's my closer for Saturday night.
Okay.
The poop over.
Now, Pat, before we let you go, we got to ask: is there anyone you would like to challenge in this? Anyone you feel like that would come on here and you would kick their ass in their fake sports betting?
Well, what's your reach? Like how famous?
Whoever you want. We've had Paul Paps came on week 1. He challenged
anywhere from
Andrew
like
Perloff,
Sarah Spain on ESPN to Roy Wood Jr. from The Daily Show to like
Kyle
across all these
Brandt.
lines, you know.
Yeah, we've
Oh,
had
you
a
get some
random.
heavy hitters on here.
If there's any Chicagoans, if there's we've got
Guys,
last week Joey Molinaro.
I always love talking to Lou Canellis any chance I get, guys. When he interviews Sammy Sosa. Okay. Did you see that interview? That's my favorite interview in the world.
No, I have not seen it.
You've not seen where he asked Sammy Sosa about taking steroids?
No. Oh, yes. Where they're in the ballroom or like the lobby of a hotel.
Ballroom somewhere. It's like one of those group interviews, and he's like, "Sam, are you ready to apologize?" He's like, "What, Lou?" He's like, "Lou, I don't know what it is." Well, for starters, maybe taking steroids, Sam. And Sammy Sosa's, Kyle, you got to watch this video. Sammy Sosa, like he breaks into a flop sweat almost instantaneously, right?
Yeah, full blown panic. Yeah. You would think that this interview went down in like the summer of '99, maybe, but no.
Like for how nervous Sammy felt.
It was like 2 years ago. It was
this summer. It was like it was over the summer, I think it happened.
Yeah, it was recent. It was recent.
That's so funny.
I'm gonna send it to you. It's the best.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Okay. So Lou Canellis, you're putting the challenge out to him.
I love Lou. Let's get him on.
Okay. All right. Lou Canellis, you have been challenged by Pat Tomasulo. Pat, thank you so much, man. Best of luck at Laugh Your Face Off this weekend. Again, laughyourfaceoff.org.
He's not even giving you a plug.
I'll be there.
Kyle Ayers is going to be there. He's
not
gonna
only going to be there. Kyle is one of our most important comedians in the program this year.
That's right.
Let me tell you, this man is doing it right now. I don't know how dude, I couldn't even have done 30 days in Scotland, and I'm relatively healthy. This guy, crushing it.
It's been something. I'm having a good time.
So,
yeah, I'm excited.
For those that don't know, Pat, Laugh Your Face Off is an event geared towards raising awareness and funding for trigeminal neuralgia. I'm pronouncing it correctly, right?
Yeah.
And it is a disease that not only Kyle has, but also Pat's wife has, and so it is very near and dear to all of our hearts. And it is a very important cause. And Pat, you were telling us on the radio the other day that that the funding is like there are steps being made.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, so we raise all the money for the Facial Pain Research Foundation, which I help run now. And yeah, I mean, we've got really promising research. We just published a genetic study that we've been working on for about 10 years, which has hopefully identified some genetic mutations that could be the cause of it. Because that's the big thing. Like, there's no, for a lot of people who have this, there's no known cause. Some people you can point to, they have a blood vessel compressing a nerve, or there's something else, they had an injury to it. But an overwhelming number of patients like Amy and like Kyle, there's no known cause for it. So once we can figure out what's causing it, that can open up, countless ways to treat it, we hope. But yeah,
Well,
so it's also that, but the silent auction is bonkers. It's like 150 plus prizes. Any budget that you have, there's stuff for you there. But some of the experience packages are pretty bonkers. So go to laughyoufaceoff.org.
We'll have links
There
and
you
stuff
go.
in the episode.
Yeah.
And everything too.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure. And Kyle will be up here this weekend in Chicago. And Kyle, you were playing Sunday night at Lincoln Lodge. After.
Yeah.
Yeah, after that.
6 p.m. on the
There you go.
Yeah.
At Kyle Ayers on socials. Yeah.
Get the leg going home.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right. Well, Pat, thank you so much, man. We appreciate your time as always.
I'll see you this weekend.
I'll see you this
Best
weekend.
of luck in your bets, and hopefully you can run it back and defend your crown.
You all again.
All right, big shout out again to Pat and everything he does. It is a weird thing for me to talk about promoting. It's, you know what I mean? It's like I have the disease,
right,
so it's
right.
odd and personal to be like, go check this out. It feels like too close to me to tell people to go look at.
Yeah, well, I'll do it for you. Everyone, go look at it. Laughyoufaceoff.org for the silent auction. It all goes for a great cause. And just speaking on Kyle's behalf, because Kyle is incredibly humble and also is going through it. It's very close to home for him, obviously, as close as it can be to home for him.
Yeah.
Kyle goes through a lot of pain that he does not let the outside world see very regularly. And you actually wrote a comedy show about it.
I had a stand-up show about it. Yeah.
That's what you took to Europe essentially, and you did that show regularly. And that's is it Hard to Say?
It's called Hard to Say. It's also funny to do a show about health in Europe and then just be like, what do you mean costs money? Right. It's an unrelatable aspect of the show.
Yeah, with the universal health care and everything.
So I'd be like, if you guys need to relate to me on this, it also has taken me a while.
Yeah.
And I'm sad. So I don't know if just to relate to Europeans, let's do our bets real quick. We'll post links to all the stuff he's got going on, and find me on Twitter. I'll have plenty of info about that. I'm going to go through mine real quick. I've got $200 on the over on shotgun touchdowns. I don't know why. I have no frame of reference for how many there normally are. Who knows? It comes down to about a half a one a game. Just over one a game, one team per, you know what I mean? Who knows? It's like,
that's the most intriguing
just
bet,
over one per game. Just over one per game. Delays a game, I'm going to take the over. I don't feel good about anything. I'm not going to bet on bitching about the Chiefs. I'm going to bet $350 on the poops. I'm going to bet $150 on the under on Levis turnover meme combo. I feel that makes me feel like it's just a game of extremes. Do you know what I mean? I like betting on the extremes. Like with Tyreek's yards last week, I thought it'd be not that many or a ton. And I'm going to bet $200 on bringing Rexy back on the over, even though I have the Colts defense, who played all right against the pass.
I think Caleb Williams is getting better every week, and Caleb Williams started the season off playing two really tough defenses. The Titans currently have the #1 defense in the NFL.
I'm going to lock in the hoops.
And then the who they put? Oh, the Texans. The Texans also have a really good defense, and so now I think he'll get a little bit of a break with the Colts because I don't think their defense is as strong. But
but we'll see. So there's my bets, locking in poop.
Okay, I wish I could take the poops bet, honestly, because I honestly have no idea how many times I'm going to poop this weekend. The third time's a harm. I'm going to take $250 on the under for Will Levis. I'm going to be hurt by that bet. I just know it.
200 or 250?
250. I'm bringing Rexy back. I'm taking the over. I think he throws for more than Rex Grossman. 250 on the over on that one. So that's $500 right there. And then I'm taking shotgun for $200. I should take the opposite of whatever you took just to try and gain some ground.
It's like you gotta pick your spots. You don't really want to go against what you think's gonna happen.
Yeah. And I think the shotgun is going to happen.
So you got
and then
$300.
and then my last 300 is my lock. And I am taking that on the over for 1.5 people complaining in your group chat about the Chiefs. I
Right.
think the Chiefs are going to do something like special this weekend, and people are just gonna bitch and
You
moan.
think they're going to
And
run like some dumb shit on Sunday Night Football because they never play the Falcons. And honestly, these are the only times the Chiefs blow teams out is when they're like,
yeah,
have we even played this team since Eric Berry faked cancer?
yeah. And they're gonna run one of those like
I don't think he faked it. I want to put that back in there though.
oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, thank you for clarifying. They're gonna run one of those like merry-go-round plays,
Yeah.
and people are just gonna like get real pissed off.
No one
and,
seemed mad they had a fat guy touchdown last week. Everyone likes that's the great unifier. You hate the Chiefs more than anything, and a fat guy scores a touchdown. And you're like, I do love Andy Reid though.
They're like, not that fat guy.
Well, we're feeling good. Everybody go
Yeah.
check out the silent auction for Laugh Your Face Off.
Yeah.
Find Pat Tomasulo and me and Austin online.
Yeah, and if you're in Chicago area, check out Kyle at Lincoln Lodge.
Yeah, Sunday
this
the
Sunday night.
22nd. You can't come to the benefit on Saturday, but come to my show on Sunday at the Lincoln Lodge. There's
Which are you
a lot of
performing
seats
at Laugh Your Face Off?
I
Are
am.
you okay? That's awesome.
That's why I was like, it's weird to. I want to promote both of them, but his doesn't. That physical event doesn't need the help.
Right. Well, and
that's sold out.
It's literally sold out. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the way you can help there with
Silent
raising
auction.
the funds for the trigeminal neuralgia is the silent auction. Yeah. Bid on something. And like Pat said, there's price points for anyone, like anywhere from like $50 to $5,000. So
I should have put something there. I should have put like you can tell me the Chiefs suck to my face.
Yeah. I wish I should have done like host Melissa and Austin's radio show in Chicago for a day. So then it would have just given me a day.
Come on
off
this
from work.
podcast.
Yeah.
Eat a hat.
Come up with our bets for us one week.
I'll eat a hat. Any fun stuff. Anyways.
At Kyle Ayers on socials. Follow him, especially if you are in the Chicagoland area, to see where he'll be at this weekend. Are you going to do pick up a shift at the
Apple
Store? Lincoln Park. Yeah,
I think so. I haven't got yelled at someone for something they did in a while. Maybe I'll see if I can watch any kids steal iPod Nanos again.
Yeah. Just back at his Genius Bar days. Kyle Ayers, what was that? 2010 was the last time
I worked
here?
there. Oh, I left. 2011 is when I left Chicago.
Okay. All right. So 2011, when he used to live in Chicago and worked at the Apple store in Lincoln Park, my old Apple store, the one I used to go to all the time. All right, at Kyle Ayers on socials. I am at Austin Huff on socials, and of course follow Korked Bats for all things doing lines. That's where we post everything at Korked Bats, Kork spelled with a K, and tell a friend about the podcast. This is a fun podcast that we have fun with, and we pull some great guests every single week, and we would love for you to share it with a friend. We would really appreciate that. Rate, review, subscribe, do all of those things. If you like what we're doing. So, Kyle, anything for the road?
No, we'll see you guys at school on Monday.
See you at school on Monday? God, what year is it? Love you guys. Good luck on your bets.